What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Tom Trips Out, and in this episode we're talking about life on a teacher's budget in Phnom Penh. My name's Tom, this is my trip out.
Well, hey everybody, come along with me. Take a trip to a place to fight without sea. Meet people, eat food, see the joy they bring, and how much it costs to try new things. Well, come and watch me on the trip out. My name's Tom, this is my trip out.
So, teacher salaries. Basically, native English-speaking teachers, those are the ones that can command the higher salaries. And that's usually people from USA, Canada, or the UK. If you're a native English speaker, you're looking at $1,100 or $1,200 per month to start. And if you're a non-native English speaker, it might be more like $900 or $1,000 per month. There's probably many examples of people who are living here that are outside of that ballpark, but just very commonly, this is what's most common. If you have experience or lots of extra accreditations, or you've networked somehow, then in the interview you might be able to dazzle them and command a higher salary that would be outside of that ballpark. Okay, so let's walk over to the river and we'll walk along this whole stretch and see what we discover along the way, and I can talk about what life is like working with a salary like that, living in Phnom Penh. So what can you do with your, between $900 and $1,200 salary? Or maybe more. I actually started at $1,250 a month. So let's go over the basic things that people always have to pay for. So your rent. Rent here, obviously it varies on what apartment you choose and all that, but the average person I'd say pays about $250, somewhere between $200 and $300 a month for an apartment. And you can go cheaper than that and more expensive than that, but that's probably what's normal. My first apartment was $140 a month, and I made a video about that like 2 or 3 years ago when I lived there. I'll drop a card right here and you can check that out after if you want. I'm from Toronto, and my apartment would be like $2,500 a month back home. It's like what I pay for 7 or 8 months of living here is what you pay for 1 month in Toronto. You can already see that what life is like on a teacher's budget in Phnom Penh is pretty nice and pretty easy, stress-free. So far we have $250 for the apartment. Now what about meals? So I've noticed from living here, I eat out for every meal, or I get delivery, or I order through an app and pick it up myself because you can get a cheaper discount that way. And I'm able to eat out for every meal and stay within $10 every day for the whole day, including coffee and drinks and everything too. So that means in a month I'm spending about $300 on food. And again, you could probably do better than that if you were more of a cook, or you're food prepping and freezing it. And it's just, I don't really want to eat leftovers, and especially not ones that I've cooked, you know what I mean? We've come across the outdoor workout area. So this is open to the public and people can come here and use this as much as they want. Beautiful buildings here. Alright, the other thing that everyone has to pay for is cell phone data, a cell phone plan. You need data plan. Here it's very cheap. I pay about $1.50 a week, and it's 15 gig. So that means in a month I have 60 gig for $6. Back home that would be like $80 in Toronto or more. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, another staple basic that everyone has to pay for in life is your transportation, or like getting around. Tuk-tuk rides are usually somewhere around $1 or like $1.50, it just depends how far you're going. If you're like 2 kilometers away, it should be like maybe $1.25 each way. So if you're spending $2.50 a day, Monday to Friday, that's 20 days in a month, so that would be like $50 a month for the tuk-tuk. But then you also go out on the weekends, so you're probably like $75 a month for transportation. Holy cow, what a nice day. I can smell those pink flowers. All the costs I've talked about and now have added up to somewhere around 650. You can see that it's well below what the teacher salary would be. There's lots of headroom, and you're not choking with anxiety by the middle of the month thinking I can't make it to the end, or I need paycheck to paycheck. Like usually you'll have about 200 left to play with at the end of a month, but it really, everybody's different with how they spend, or there's certain things they need. And like I need to buy guitar strings and batteries and stuff like that for my music gear, and maybe there's some type of, maybe women buy makeup and lots of toiletry products and all kinds of that stuff, and that can get expensive, especially if you want the brands from back home. So everyone's budget can be different, and you know what you drink when you go out and you're out on the weekend with your friends at a bar or a restaurant. If you drink the Cambodia beer, it can be like 75 cents. But if you're someone that wants to have a cocktail or fancy wine and stuff, then that's more like $4.50, which can, you know, change your bill like times 5. So I'll pay $5 at the end of the night and you'll pay like $27 if you're having cocktails. And if you're doing that 2 days on the weekend every week right away, like if you're spending 25 at night because you're Mr. Cocktails, Mr. or Mrs. Cocktails, then you're going to end up spending like 200 extra in a month. You got to watch your spending. So now we reached the night market. Over there's the night market. But it's like noon now, so they're all packed up and everything. And across from the night market, this is where you can get on those boats. Yeah, there's the boats over there. And hey, if you want to teach in Cambodia, or Vietnam for that matter, and you're looking for a really reputable program, you can do the one that I took. I have the links below, and you can follow in my footsteps. It was with AVSE. They're government accredited, and they also include hands-on job support. So basically, you get lined up with your first job coming out of the program, and that's so helpful when you haven't done something like this before. They also have many different programs like on the side. If you already have a TEFL, they have like side programs that only take 1 week. There's one just for jobs called Teaching Jobs Abroad. So it's to help you navigate the jobs market in Cambodia, and you get a little bit of teaching practice in real schools, and you get to observe teachers here and how it's done here. And then that's about a 7 to 9 day program, and then coming out they line you up with job interviews at many schools in need, and then they keep getting you interviews until you land a job. Cambodia, you do not need a degree, so you could come here and be a teacher if you don't have a degree. So what are you waiting for? Really, take a second and consider Cambodia. Stop putting up with a depressing lifestyle when you need to make a change for yourself and get out here. So once you're here, you're making that salary, but then it only goes up from there. Within about 1 year of working, I was hired at $12.50 a month, and then I was at $13.50 after about 8 months. And that extra $100 goes a long way when the meals here are only like $2, $3, $4, like depending what you get. And bottom line, if you keep your spending in check, you could get through a month easily on about $800 a month. And if you're making $1,000 or $1,200, life on a teacher's budget in Phnom Penh is great and easy. So get over here and start living well. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Remember, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.
Life is tall.